Curaçao, the time has come. Curaçao aspirta. Curaçao has awakened. An awakening for mind, heart, and soul. Join us for a transformational weekend of spirituality and music. May 2nd and Saturday, May 3rd, for 2 unforgettable days of spiritual connection and inspiration at the luxurious WTC Curaçao Auditorium. Then on Sunday, May 4th, the celebration reaches its peak at Bracapodi May Amphitheater Curaçao in a live music concert featuring the island's best musicians and singers, performing new music by Coach Glenn and the IA Music Magic Library. Dive into profound insights and uplifting experiences as we explore the essence of spirituality. For tickets and info, visit corsuaspierta.com. Don't miss this unforgettable 3-day journey of inspiration, connection, and soul-stirring music. Awaken, inspire, celebrate.
Corso aspetta, corso aspetta, corso aspetta, corso aspetta.
Felizmente, bendición por Corso, Aruba Bonaire, Isla Riba e todos não que nos na Holanda e outra parte na do mundo. Bom venire no programa The Great Awakening caminho da Djaluna mainta. Aqui riba nos plataforma nós tem invitado na especial caminho nós também entrevistaram. Para nós por mais informação de mundo espiritual e místico. Aí nós também tem uma entrevista interessante atrobe, maneira sempre. Felizmente, Djaluna, feliz siman para você, confiando que o turende adrome e lanta bom, tem bom vibração, positivo, para sobre a hora que nós lanta com bom vibração, então que nós mente de positivo, nós manda vibração tur caminha, and that's good.
O futuro está importante, pero não porta possível sem o presente. Maioria gente da plania para um futuro ou não que logra coisas que tem a ver com o futuro. E hope que não que está concentrar para trás riba no futuro, qual está bom. É importante para você que o futuro a começar den presente. Hope de nós está assim preocupar com nosso futuro, lubidar com nós mestre planta nosso futuro de nós presente. Se você não entende que está toma tempo para trazer plano para o futuro, mas não está fazendo nada agora aqui prático para lograr isso, está trabalho em vano. Hope de nós está frustrado porque nós que logra algo de nosso futuro, mas nós não está fazendo nada para lograr. Cada coisa que nós fazemos hoje, está de nós presente, então se me plantar para por si acaso se você logra dentro do futuro, é o qual você vai fazer hoje, logo começa a dar uma fruta do futuro. É importante para nós compreender o princípio na vida para que nós tenhamos resultado não correto. A Escritura também nos dá em Provérbios 19:21. Hopita é planos não do coração de ele, pero é propósito de Deus, tal qual que está o realizar. So, planeamento está bom. Visão está bom, tudo isso aqui não tem a ver com o futuro. Pero, de acordo com a Escritura aqui, propósito descobrir está presidir plano. Que é isso aqui também sabe? Promete que o plano sabe que o propósito. Para motivo que hora que você o propósito você planeia de acordo com esse aí. Para sobre a escritura da Bisa, hopita e planes nando em coração de gente, pero tá Deus o propósito para quem? Para a vida. Esse é o guardo realizar. Hope de nós também está planear algo para o futuro que nós não estamos fazendo. So, it's very important para quieto e punta para o mês. Que como está sendo agora aqui, de prática, para afetar meu futuro se me chega. De como está se me chega, para sobre amanhã no aguardo primentina nós, awe nós tem. Ti gente com a lanta awe, com nota finalizar awe. Pero é importante para viva vida awe, haciendo lo máximo que es posible. Entonces, si vos lanta mañana, lo cual vos haces awe, lo afecta vos mañana. Vos mañana está futuro. So, vos futuro es importante. Vos tengo que traer, pero no es posible sin vos presente. So, ¿qué es que vos tengo que poner más énfasis en vos presente? Vos presente está ahora aquí. Vos presente está awe. Es simple hecho que van lanta awe. Si vos cama significa Dios aprove todo lo cual vos te meste para vos vivir vida awe. Plane para mañana. Plane para vos futuro. Pero no haciele sin atender que vos presente. Make the best out of today. Live to the max today. Hace lo cual vos te siente que vos te engane así awe. Para sobre vos não saco vos amanhã. Vos futuro está importante, pero não está possível sem vos presente.
Mi nombre é Sharifa Yanga, vou coach de sanação, transformação e relação. E caminha para sanação. Sanação, na final, não se trata de direita ao mês, ou não se trata de buscar método novo, ou conhecimento, para complementar ou fix ao mês. Sanação real é a unificação de queda tranquilo, relajar o suficiente conectando back borroseia, para assim acorda de verdade quem botar. E passina para compreender que o paz sempre estava interno e que isso aqui nunca bono a perder. Solamente el aguardo lubida. Passar na chão toma lugar, vamos ser volver back na calma de padem realizar que sempre estava completo. E pensando isso aqui, me quero invitar tour para dia 2 e 3 de maio aqui na tremendo evento na WTC Corsou Aspierta, qual culmina em bem de vibração alto na Bracaput Mei. Wak pa bono queda fo, men di compra bocarci, subir o link de corsouaspierta.com para botar parte de transformação.
Leading up to my NDE, it was 6 months into taking these painkillers. You know, these
6 months.
Yeah, I was 6 months into taking these painkillers when I accidentally overdosed on them.
Okay.
And that's what led to my near-death experience. So I was in a lot of pain that night, and I took the regular dosage, and nothing happened. And it was exceptional pain. So I took a couple more, and I remember feeling high from the medication, but the pain was not gone. And I had taken those couple, at this time it was 4, and I had gotten so high and that I took 2 more and forgot that I had taken the other ones because I was still in pain.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, and that's what sent me to this you know, into
Overdose.
this overdose. Yeah, I started to sweat profusely. I started to sweat very bad, and then I ran to the bathroom as fast as I could get there, and then I'm vomiting in the bathroom, and I vomit so much I don't have any more in me, you know. So now I'm on the floor, in and out of consciousness. There's a lot of pain from the dry heaving. It felt like hours. It might have been 40 minutes on the floor. I can't remember how much time I was there. And then at a certain point you realize something's wrong, and I'm in and out of consciousness, and all of a sudden I'm outside of my body. You know, I'm gone. I'm out of the pain's gone. I'm looking at myself on the bathroom floor, and while I'm trying to take all this in, that's when I'm whisked through this tunnel of light.
So the third NDE, that was where I was at my lowest place in my life. I was in depression and anxiety, and I had just got divorced, and I lost my identity. I didn't know who I was, you know, and I didn't feel like I was really living. I felt like I was just existing, and my body wouldn't give out. So I attempted suicide, you know, right before my accident, and I woke up out of that and thought, man, I got to check myself in. There's something wrong with me. And I went through a mental health hospital stay for a week, you know, trying to get my stuff together. But I came out and it still wasn't fixed. There was still something missing. And about a week, I want to say about a month after my hospital stay, I was hanging out with my friend, and it was his birthday. And we decided to go for a motorcycle ride. We'd always go ride motorcycles together. And we had a few drinks before and just got a little rowdy. And I'm riding a motorcycle, no helmet on, you know, had some alcohol in me, and was just driving recklessly and crazy. And ended up crashing my motorcycle. And I remember crashing it and flying up into the air. And then coming down and hitting my body on my motorcycle, my head on the asphalt. And it was weird because I went into this like dark void immediately. Like everything just kind of went black, you know. So when I was pulling wheelies, I was doing wheelies, and I came down and crashed, and then flew into the air and came back down on the motorcycle. And as soon as I hit my head, everything went black. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this is how I die. Like, this is how I die. And we don't really think about it, but subconsciously we all think about, how do we die? Like, where is it? And I remember that being very peaceful for me.
Contact, mi nummer is Tatiana Felis e amilo to onze main speakers lang na evento Corsao Aspierta. Durante di evento aqui, amilo papia tocante di tema Misterio na nos alma. Com o universo te guia nos na cosa mais grande papiando e idioma di nos alma. Paabo, kung masya tempo ta ka na round com diferente pergunta ng maneira kita bo propósito. Kiko tem motivo para qual botaria mundo aqui me que invita abo dia 2 e 3 de maio próximo na WTC e nós lo culminar com concerto na Bracaput Mei dia 4 de maio. Gostamos que você encarte nang door de registrar na website corsoaspierta.com ang numitawar você tour ayan.
E verhasi statement bisa conosco bem mundo para sinha exatamente esse. Então nos treze energia ng alto divino aqui na dimensão aqui caminha nada necessário para nos elevar e essa frequência de inteira dimensão aqui mesmo.
Very good.
Esse é eigenlijk het propósito, pero você aqui costa também com mita hopi largo dingen mundo aqui, não? Mita over 20 anos com mita bezig ding e mundo nada bem mais espiritual, right?
Sim.
Então é coisa com mita bata queda da linjeta, com mita mira com hopi gente que trata journey maneira algo que está passando para fodina. Então não tem journey espiritual e não tem nada mês. Então mita reparar também com é coisa que cria hopi problema interno para mim, então que está manifestando externamente.
Completamente de acordo.
Mas reparar gewoon que é necessário eigenlijk para gente por explicar o se nos papia de maneira bijvoorbeeld over die shadow que está na traduzir uma sombra. Que coisa significa com esta aparece de movida que é sua manifestação de movida diário. Passou por bisa, mas dá-lhe trauma aqui, me vai ser com terapeuta, me vai ser com guia espiritual, coach, me vai lá ajudar-me com o trauma. Pero se você por mira contexto multidimensional de trauma, é dizer que tem efeito de movida espiritual, tem efeito de movida mental, movida emocional e movida físico. Bota vai cada vez trata sintoma.
Exatamente.
I like that. Road the drugs, right?
I like that.
Correcto. Então, mira, tem gente que está arriba healing journey de 10 anos, arriba coisa que não pode resolver em dia, com a guia correto. Right? Então, a guia correto já tem de ver não somente com uma pessoa de maneira mesmo, um bom mês, mas a guia interno, que conta com compass. Então, como compass está calibrar. Então, com eigenlijk bota base approach, é journey mesmo. Right? É journey que está para fora, é journey que você está experienciando como para dentro, é algo que você está assim, aventura, a mim também se spiritual tourist, turista não espiritual. Então, durante uma cerimônia, depois não vai back na vida normal. Vai missa, depois não vai back na vida normal. Mas não tem eigenlijk processo de integração. É que men com uma desenha eigenlijk, se você programa, a mim te considera playground. É eigenlijk practice space. É para você praticar, para botar pessoa completo, integrar, e também para você praticar que men viva como humano divino. Que significa, com esta visita right, que te costa comportar você shift e cambia, então não se vai assim costa caminhar, você vai a tarefa, não costa que você vai aplicar em vida. A coisa mais importante é a estrutura, tá? Que nós temos que começar a compreender que o pia é o que estroba nós, é aquela coisa que nós sabe que nós que tá. Nós sabe que nós queremos em vida. A mim, quando eu tenho conversação com o primeiro, nós começamos a ouvir.
Interessante. Interessante.
Você aqui que te coisa que você quer, você aqui que te coisa que você quer, você é aquela como que viva. Pero o problema tá, é pergunta da vida, é aquela de como não está sendo.
That's the key.
Right? Então, quando está sendo, pessoa, portava falta skills, portava falta informação, portava falta coragem.
A mim quer, coragem definitely, pero a mim quer, pensei nós tem tipo de programa na equipa motivo que gente sabe, pero não tem knowledge de lo qual não sabe. Então, o programa na equipa maneira, a botar três aqui, tá ajuda em gente em knowledge. Então, você que me gosta de aqui? Ora que nós fazemos coisas aqui, ele estaria no lugar que me diz, para sobra, vai conectar na local que isso acaba.
Correto.
That's the thing. Pensa que é importante para tipo conhecer.
Sim, então o que está assim é o programa mais único que nós não estamos papinando.
De natureza, você mira piscar na zwerm. O princípio não pode quando a zwerm está, sempre anda para adiante, tendo distância, respeitar for o outro e evitar obstáculos no caminho. Cada piscar está arriba na curva. Mescos, o ser humano, também pode funcionar assim de quem respeita para o outro, intercambiar, comunicar para evitar obstáculos, assim nos tour junto porque da vai adiante de uma organização, de comunidade e tour caminha com nós e abota.
Meu nome é Angelo Leidens, me dá ajuda, guia e facilitar a organização para transicionar para não bira posição optimal, óptimas maneras também. E mita quero invitar vocês para a conferência de Corsau Aspieta, dia 2, 3 e 4 de maio de 2025.
Explícanos más o menos qué significa ancare, então una aceita é coisa como assim, é docente como vista, tá?
Sì, onder andere. Nou ja, botingo mire asina ku nos manema bisa awore, nos nota solamente e cosco de mira den spil. E curva aqui, ok? Nos tá mais que curva aqui. Ok? Em facto, não po mira e curva aqui se é nosso sucede espírito caba.
Yes.
Bota mira aqui, tá passo ela sucede den e mundo cubo nota mira. Sim, me pobisa sina. Então, pero nós eigenlijk door die vida que nós vive aqui dentro, riba e mundo aqui, nós lubida quem nós está. Então, cada dia de novo bota Biden e romslom de vida. Pero é culpa que boting aqui nana e não alubida eigenlijk e verhaal. Então, eigenlijk bo culpa te bestaat die cellen. Então, bo cellen nang ta corda tour e verhaal. In fact, cientificamente está bewezen que se botar tá provar que posela nang ta corda turcos. Nang hasi estudio que na toma dos calci, anto nang apkibra nang akit pida spier for de curva anto nang abutele ding e differente dos calci. E calci nang di differente patrono. Ok? Op een gegeven moment is cel nang kutabata ding ene schaal abira besu, ante otro abira spier. E sei ta lagasa, e sei ta bewijs eigenlijk que cel nang ta tuma eigenlijk verhaal die nang environment, die nang como te dice?
Medio ambiente.
Die medio ambiente. Nós bestaat die cellen. Então, nós corpa, tintur e verhaal. Nós passa den hópicos. Não solamente ora botar mundo aqui, pero ora não chega ao mundo ainda. Ora botar pensamento. Também botar uma história. Então, é weg hier naartoe, den barrica, turcos que passa, die botar chiquito. Hopi bia nós está vai verder, pero bo curpa ta tene e história.
História.
Ok?
Yes.
Sim. Pero, ora po boto pa un hende, bo puntre e hende, konta kubo. May está aqui na bisabo. Bom, bom danki. Sim, ito bom danki. Pero, denge caso aqui, dori hasi oefening aqui, anker, bota bij mira, contact e persona di verdad.
Ja.
Eigenlijk, dat een oefening ko metapidi bubuta, un paar ricos nanang lugar, anto abot bisami, kiko, conta bij kubo. Anto, no te ganha nunca, paso ta abo tinha verhaal. A mí no tinha verhaal. Mi por ting un session com un gente que nunca me conoce. Mi lage hasi cose e momento e também mostrar mi kiko conta bayendo com ele. Anto, eigenlijk met een judabo, met een systemisch begeleider, met een judabo pa corda. Quem botar? Corda, kiko botin ko hasi. Pasombra, nós está capaz, nós tem e verhaal, nós está capaz pa hasi turlo que conosque. Nós por turcos, nós sa com pa hasi turcos.
Pero no se olvide.
Pero no se olvida. No se vira afhankelijk van.
Juist.
Anto ora bocorda quem botar, anto ora bota para democracht. Anto in facto é hopi importante para nós corda quem não está para bobini democracht para sobre nós tour tá conectar com outro. É cantica de leve, mi mester de bobo, mester de mi. That's it.
Está na seu lugar.
This May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Corsu Aspirta will bring together a vibrant community, celebrating a new era for our island. And you can be a part of it with our exclusive digital sponsor booklet. Imagine your brand reaching over 2,000 enthusiastic attendees. Imagine your message resonating in the heart of Curaçao's most inspiring event, Corsu Aspirta. Curaçao has awakened. Our digital sponsor booklet offers flexible options to showcase your brand. Choose a full page to tell your story, a half page for impactful visuals, or strategically placed ad spots to capture attention. Don't miss this opportunity. Full-page ads in our digital sponsor booklet are $1,000, half-page ads are $500, and quarter-page ads are $250. Contact us today to secure your space and reach a massive audience at Corsu Aspirta.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cleckley, author of I Walk Amongst Gods, which entails my near-death experience. I'm inviting you to join me for a weekend of awakening. We will engage in discussions about my book. I will go into depth about my interactions with the Archangel Metatron and what it was like to stand in the presence of the Creator. I will also teach you the techniques that I was taught as I stood in the second heaven. So please join me for a wonderful weekend of discovery, connection, and enlightenment. I'll see you soon.
Nos tour a bini ding e bida aqui, ando nos mister passador de maneira bomesa e amnésia.
Sim.
Pero nos bida tabasa riba hasi pergunta. You can never go on a quest without asking questions.
Anto Glenn, babisong ko sa wari amnesia, anto amin nota tinete ora ku na 21, 22 aya, ito tanto desisyon, so amin si por acorda hopikos na yung imita mira, imita escucha, imita conecta, imita bata comprende hopikos. Pero ora kumi ako mi sabay middlebar school, no juist lagere school ainda, saboto pi mucha ainda, middlebar school, mita mira kumi abing de un sociedad kumi nota fit. Anterior kumi sa actua, paso ta actor no sta hopi ser humano. Anto kumi 21 ay ma-decidi gewoon met de biba vida de ser humano. Que men die letterlijk laga spiritualidad, ma conoce un ende, anto bota bisa, okay, quizás
Mabay explore,
anto mitamba pasa den asina tanto decepção, emoção, anto danke Dios pa mi teachings nang, yung kos ko nanta bisa sempre botin ko by kas back.
Sim.
Então, esse mahasi, como eu disse, awe mita aqui, então mita querer meter caminho largo de seguir vai e explorar, pero mahaya balance. Então, nunca mais me não que vai virar completamente ser humano. Me que experienciar tudo o que tem aqui nana, pero usar uma espiritualidade.
Você me tem uma pessoa fascinante. I'm very intrigued. Você de com bota golden nuggets em nossas comunidades. Tem roupa de nós assim, pero a mim também mirava golden nuggets sobre o wisdom tá assim amplo, botin assim tanto coisa, então você aqui tá coisa bonita, vou por explicar. Você agora me mira, tem 12 anos que me mira com mais forte, go diante. É 2 pessoas para mim tá pensando a mim. This is me, okay? Você anda me heroes na espiritual.
Na sabe dia me conhecer dianta. Agora que eigenlijk me tá conhecendo hopi mais tanto, ora vou durf de tá quem botar Deus, universo tá zorva banha bohende nan.
Definitely.
Ora me começa papia com dianta com me por acorda, mi princípio, então me deve ser me conhecebo de princípio, me não conhecebo de agora. Então chona ora nós tá papia assim aqui, nós tá papia que nós tá reconhecer energia de outro.
Yes.
I see you.
Energy, yes.
It's energy. Então, estava fascinante mira que nós todos estava Lemurian women, moenan kabing de Lemuria. Nós tem conhecimento, nós tem a pessoa carbon econan kumita papi timbiaglan hena nota querer ta energia ta barra dembo depende atrobe com licht botado para dentro. Because misa ta yame Espírito Santo. Dembo nos cuero, nos curpa, me que patrulha conhecer, tá veículo para frequência alto, barra, dembo, frequência de Cristo, Buda, quem que você chama é para barra, dembo, pero você tem que permitir, então você tem que regular, emocionam, no sano para você curpa, então sempre didi me tá ora ma conectar com ele, me digo ne você adianta, tem assina tanto ele de afo tá pedindo vai com meu conhecimento, corção não tá apreciar, pero mas promessa me também traz meu conhecimento não guardo aceitar of não de meu idioma explicando lá para lá, então me tem cosco didi tá ora não grado a seca me ok dianta, ou não tá vai seca boa, porque é escola místico mais elevado, didi também tem conhecimento.
Ora, mi posso andare dilante di vostra 12 di mente ter mi deve pensare un'altra cosa. È cosa che ta mi storia, no? Mi abbaidi una persona assai stimata in comunità, una persona sumamente controversiale, per sopra ma decidi pahasi e cosnanku mi tinku asi e non hasi mas lo qual gente che pa mi asi. Anto dico a palavra controversial para mim outra significação. Controversial para mim significa breaking barriers e quebrar com coisa não viu e mostrar que tem coisa novo, tem outra coisa não cooperasi. Ya, então esse é para mim. Então, ora mira persona, como deve dizer, é persona. Bota durf para introduzir coisa que não durf introduzir. A mim também tem coisa. Dia que eu comecei o programa aqui, somente controversial, pero assim mas então então não está aí.
Sim. Você aqui que passa e me que para turbo gente não que está mirando, escutando nossa hora aqui, se a web bo dala bo muri, ku nang hasi teste com bo DNA tá único.
Sim.
Não tem duas maneiras boas. O problema de mundo aqui tá, então me que para turma maior voral escuta isso aqui, nós adrenta cubos, matrix, mundo, que nós está criando cópia. Mas bom, nós turta sinta em classe mesmo coisa, nós turta vai tanto horas por, nós turta sinta em missa, bota indoctrinando gente de uma forma, educando gente para também coisas e outro para nós por manejar uma sociedade. Gente não sabia tá bono por não como por manejar não bono por manipular não vou pedir nós para funcionar a base de manipulação de turcos Glenn tá controversial para a mim significa tá autêntico. Ami
Very
também,
good.
mitad de verdade, minha mama tatabi sabe turbia. Minha mama não lanta me com medo, por exemplo, de escuro. Ami tinha, me tem medo, Sharifa, tá como porta boso de casa, ami também onda quem assim a bos nang ekos nang Kementa nós, se bo para quieto, me que tu rende para quieto, que tu lo que bosa awe, se bo tem medo de lagadishi, ena assim ave. E não passa zoomar, porque nós está conectado com a natureza, nós estamos abim para integrar outro e respeitar outros espaços, para que nós está mata, para que nós tem medo, para que nós está envidiar, se tem para nós tur.
Yes.
Nós temos que colaborar mais.
Óbvio. Nós temos um programa Corsau Aspierta, ao mainta, ora que nós estamos papiando com Sharifa Yanga. Diz aqui nós estamos back.
Corso Aspierta. This is your moment. From now until March 30th, when you buy your ticket for Corso Aspierta, you'll have a chance to win back your purchase. Yes, you heard that right. You could experience the most powerful spiritual awakening of the year. For free. Buy your tickets for the 2nd and 3rd of May sessions and get your free concert tickets. Visit corsoaspierta.com and buy your tickets today. Let the journey begin.
How many countries can you recall that you have gone to?
It's 26 right now.
26. And if I may ask, how young are you?
I'm 37.
37, and you already went. This is the beginning of your life, your travel life. So there's much to go. So, but tell our viewers why you are traveling so much, because you're not traveling for vacation.
Not anymore. No, they're never vacation. Sometimes I wish they were, but they're not. The traveling since the spiritual journey really kicked into, I say, second gear. First gear was like 2015. I fly out of California and I know I'm going to be gone for a while. I should have never bought a round trip ticket because I never took the flight back home and I just lost that money. I knew I wasn't going to come back for a while in my heart.
Maybe you did it for your parents.
I think so. I think it was for them, but you know, it's okay. Second gear was 2018 because that's when I quit my job teaching English in Spain. And I really started traveling full time, just following the whispers. They got louder and louder, and the synchronicities that were happening in my life, the people that I would meet and that would invite me and say, you really need to go to this power spot in the planet. I still remember the first time anybody ever mentioned the word earth chakra to me, because I knew what a chakra was in my own body.
In the body,
But what do you mean an earth chakra? So the earth has hers as well. And she sent me an article and she said, yes, here. She emailed it to me with these 7 chakras, principal chakras. And there were some that were like vortexes and power spots, but they weren't the principal 7 chakras. And it was so beautiful. It was this map with colors. And it just marked these 7 places that it's like, I just got a wave of like, I'm going to go to all 7. I've only been to 5, but that's a huge accomplishment.
You went to 5 already?
5 of the 7. 5 of the 7.
That's amazing.
Since 2018, not before then. So from there, from 2018, when it kicked into second gear, the spiritual journey was really about, you're no longer going to be traveling for your ego. You're going to be traveling for a higher purpose.
For a higher purpose, for sure.
And it's not always going to be fun, and it's not always going to be easy, because you're going to be going to places that actually need alchemy. So I haven't talked about alchemy yet. Silver River of Alchemy. You're going to be going to places. This is spirit. This are my guides. This is my highest self saying, these places need someone like you to purify the energy, to alchemize the darkness into light.
Yeah.
To alchemize whatever it is. It could be heaviness. It could be grief. Grief isn't necessarily darkness, but if it's only grief and there's no room anymore for the other side of that emotion, like to pass through grief.
Yeah.
A lot of our lands, a lot of our native indigenous parts of the world, they hold so much grief because there was so much loss, massacre.
Yes.
You know, we know this, the Americas, they wiped out the Native Americans, and whoever was left, they were in pieces.
Yes.
You know, they killed native buffalo, which were their spirit animals. So they went straight to basically their heart. They killed the nature, they killed the land, they chopped the trees.
Yeah.
And from there, we know that the land still holds a lot of these stories. So I would go to these lands.
And they will you will get all of that.
I would receive all of that. I would feel it mostly in my emotional body, and then I would purge it. I would transmute it through my body.
Yeah.
Many times it was the most uncomfortable,
I was about to ask you that. How do you go about handle all of those stories? And most of the stories emotionally is not not fun. I mean, stories about like you say, massacres and killings. How you go about handle all of those emotions?
The waters. I go to the waters. I bring the waters in. I ask for, especially the ocean, the salt water. I would either go to the salt water before, after, during, or I would call on that energy, and I would just say, like, help me do this, because I often thought that I wasn't strong enough to do it on my own.
Okay.
But I was always reminded that I've never been alone ever on this journey, in this incarnation, ever. So call on what you need. Call on your ancestors.
Yes.
Because my ancestors are all over Europe, Africa, North Africa, Middle East, and here, all of the Americas from North to South America. So basically everywhere I've been, I have ancestry almost.
Yes. And that's something beautiful for our viewers to know. We are never alone. Whenever in your life you have felt that you are alone, that there is nobody with you, we are never alone, because we have our spirit guides, we have our angels, we have our ancestors. We are never alone.
The land where we were born, California, for me, has been with me in every other part of the world where I've been. So that's something that people don't realize either.
Beautiful.
When you move away from your home country, your hometown, your home state, you know, a lot of times we think, or from the mind again, we think like, oh, I got away, I'm free of the United States, I'm so over the United States. Only to realign and remember, I was never rid of the United States. California went with me everywhere. California was an anchor point for me.
Yes.
Was a connection. It's how I chose to come into this world.
Yes.
So where you chose, everybody listening, where you chose to come into the world, not only through what mother, through what land, what country, what language, or languages. Beautiful if it's multiple languages, like beautiful Curacao. Like that makes me so excited actually to go and hear and connect with this multilingual, cultural, like this beautiful alchemy of frequencies, of cultures. It's so important. Remember, the land for you, for me, is with us wherever we go, and that is a guide as well.
Yeah. The country where you were born is always with you wherever you go. You know, I have a son. He's a musician, well, my family is a musician family, but he's very popular in the island and in Holland, and he wrote a song called Amita Curacao. I am Curacao. Now that you say that, you know, that song came to mind. No, that's powerful. How you say it. So now I am in Holland, but Curacao is with me.
Absolutely. I mean, your path right now is all about connecting and bringing Curacao to other people.
Yeah.
And keeping that frequency, that line of communication with your island. You were born in Curacao?
Yeah, I was born
You're
here.
bringing that frequency wherever you go, with whoever you meet. They are meeting that. They are meeting that. And so interesting, when people meet me, where are you from? I've always said I'm from California. I've never said I'm from America. I'm from the United States. It's always been California.
California.
So
And
even
you
that
know,
is interesting.
I like the way you speak about California, because lately California is like in a bad spot in the news, but still you are proud of your your birthplace, you know. And let's talk a little bit about the fire, which is an historic fire. It has never been this, let's say, this bad in the history of California. Can you elaborate a little bit on that, and what is the connotation, spiritual connotation with that? Because it seems like it's bad, but it's something beautiful is happening, if I may say that.
What I'm hearing is nothing is inherently bad.
Yeah.
Nothing is inherently bad. So a disaster can feel bad for a time. It can feel so personal if you're directly connected to the disaster. I mean, if a life is lost, if a house is lost, if just in general, you are connected to the emotional field of that disaster, right? I know. So somebody else, not connected because they didn't lose anything in the fires, but they know people there. They're connected.
Yeah.
Someone like me, I didn't lose anything. But I'm connected through the grid because I've been working the grid of California for years, if not my entire life, but really devotionally for almost 3 years, since 2022.
Yeah.
I've been going to the grid and listening, and I've been this acupuncturist of the grid of California. So like an acupuncturist knows you have pain, I'm going to put the needle here and you will hurt, but there will be release.
Yes.
There will be the flow again, the natural flow of the energy. And I get acupuncture, so I know this. It's like painful in that moment. And you're like, why did I say yes to this? Why did we say yes to these fires happening? Because we did collectively. As Californians, as people from Los Angeles, and people from the entire planet said yes to these fires, said yes to the disasters that are happening all over the world, because we know the great change that comes with them. We know on the other side of disaster, there's hope. On the other side of a disaster, there is a clearing.
Yes, there is restoration.
There's vision, there's clarity, there's, we have to come together. We have to be in compassion, or at least we're invited to. We don't have to, but we are invited into that space.
Yeah.
And with California and the connotation of fire, the word I keep hearing is holy fire. Holy fire, holy fire, holy fire. Take that as it resonates for you. It can have many different meanings.
Yeah.
But a holy fire in California will ignite the whole planet, because California is the root chakra of this planet. When I was talking about those 7 points in Northern California at Mount Shasta is our root chakra.
I heard that they give it a name is the lung of something.
The lung?
The
lung?
The lung, no, the
like the organ?
Yes, like the organ. Yes, like the organ, the lung. I heard that on in a podcast that where they say that part that is burning is the lung of tal tal tal. I don't remember what.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm glad.
You know, like they say, the Amazon is the lung of the world, of the whole earth.
Yes.
Something like that.
Okay. So what I love about that is if I've been feeling into why a holy fire in the root chakra, why do we need a clearing in the planet of the root chakra, which directly then transfers to us as humanity?
Yeah.
We also need a clearing in our root chakra. What's held there? All the family stories, all the ancestral trauma, all of the things that we've been avoiding to face because it's too painful. It's the point where we enter physically into the human world through our mother. We have to come through that portal that is the root chakra.
Yeah.
When we're born, we come from the waters, that we're in the sacral, we're in her water, but we come through the root chakra when we're born. So it's like we're being reborn with this holy fire.
Yeah.
Where we will actually see clearer. We've been in a fog. We've been in a fog, quite literally. We've been like zombies.
Okay.
I say we, I mean, we're in different parts of the journey. Some of us, it was a few years ago. Some of us, it was before COVID. Some of us are still there. Some of us, we kind of dip back in and we forget how powerful and beautiful and how we are part of God. We forget that. So we dip into the fog and then something like this happens and then holy fire, holy fire. I was being woken up and my whole body was on fire for a week before the fire started.
Yeah.
I could feel it in my spine. I could feel it in my heart. I could feel it in my belly. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know that there were physical fires coming. I couldn't have imagined that now in January. We normally get fires in the summer.
In the summer.
The autumn.
Yes.
I've been evacuated like in September when I was in university from fires. Also very, very big fires that happened in San Diego area.
Yeah.
And I was in university there and we were evacuated for like a week because those fires burned uncontrollably and the air quality was terrible everywhere. And so something similar is happening here. Our lungs are going to be affected by this as well.
I can't imagine.
What does that remind you of? When were we having trouble breathing? The COVID year.
Yeah.
It was the same thing, different form, but same thing. It's the breath, it's the breathing, it's the lungs, it's the spine.
Yes.
It's the kundalini. How does the energy move up and down our body? Is there space for God to come in? Is there space for the earth to communicate back up to God, the stars, the cosmos, the galaxies? And if there isn't this clear channel or channels, then we are blind. Then we are in the fog. Then we are not on our mission. We're not.
No. Interesting.
Curaçao, the time has come. Curaçao aspirta. Curaçao has awakened. An awakening for mind, heart, and soul. Join us for a transformational weekend of spirituality and music. May 2nd and Saturday, May 3rd, for 2 unforgettable days of spiritual connection and inspiration at the luxurious WTC Curaçao Auditorium. Then on Sunday, May 4th, the celebration reaches its peak at Bracapodi May Amphitheater Curaçao in a live music concert featuring the island's best musicians and singers, performing new music by Coach Glenn and the IA Music Magic Library. Dive into profound insights and uplifting experiences as we explore the essence of spirituality. For tickets and info, visit corsuaspierta.com. Don't miss this unforgettable 3-day journey of inspiration, connection, and soul-stirring music. Awaken, inspire, celebrate.
Corso aspetta, corso aspetta, corso aspetta, corso aspetta.
I have a podcast that is the guy that they do the podcast, Alex Ferrero. He has one of the best spiritual podcasts out there. So, and one of the things that he asks all the people that with gifts is he asks them, when was the first time that you came out of that closet?
Right.
Meaning in those days,
right,
you always stay in the background because people think that you are crazy.
Yes, definitely.
So when was the day that you came out and tell people about your gifts and your woo-woo and all those things? Tell me. Ik ben nieuwsgierig.
I guess I had a separate life. So the woo-woo, the spirituality, my own spirituality was something that was separated from the life that I had. And I needed to do that because in one way I want to develop my gifts, and the other way I needed to have I thought I needed to have the life that society taught me. Yeah. So those two things couldn't exist.
No. Definitely.
And so the thing is that when I was the teacher in the class, I used my gifts. I saw the energy. I transformed it with them. So I used my gifts, but I never told them. Because you can explain it in a different way, right? You can say oh, you feel better now, instead of I just cleansed your energy. You can say you feel better. So what I did is I incognito worked with my gifts, worked with my energy, and at the same time acted like nothing ever happened. It's not
Wasn't me.
I don't know where this is coming from. You know what?
Smart.
At a certain point, I had a conversation with one of my students, and it was 11 years old. And he came in the classroom, and he was very angry and upset with me. And I didn't know why. So I asked him, and he's like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I cannot look you in the eye. I don't want to have anything to do with you today. I was surprised because the kids never act like that. So at a certain point in the day, I said to him, you have to talk to me. I don't know what's going on. He said, no, miss, you're going to cry. And I don't want you to cry.
Oh.
So in that moment, I was curious. So I brought him out of the classroom and I asked him, you can say it to me. If I'm going to cry, it's healthy. So tell me, and we'll see if I'm going to cry or not.
Yeah.
And he looked me straight that in the eye. And he said, miss, you're always motivating us, inspiring us to do the best of our abilities to work with the greatest potential in life. But you're not doing it. Because I don't believe that you as a teacher right here
this is your life, that this is your biggest dream, that this is your potential. So if you're not going to do it, I'm not going to do it.
Wow.
And I still get chills. That was the moment I realized I need to walk my talk.
Yes.
I need to step out and tell everybody I have these gifts and work with it. And, so my out of the closet moment was more, initiated by a kid. And the kid was not happy to tell me that. He was angry, like from his toes. Like, why are you telling all of this and you're not doing it?
Boy.
And that was the day that I resigned my job. That was the day that I said, I'm gonna.
That's the day you did what?
I resigned my job. I just said to the director of the school, I have to quit my job. And he said,
what you just said there is an answer for somebody that is watching this podcast right now.
Right. Then I have to tell the second part. So I told my boss, I'm not going to work anymore. And he asked why. I said, because I need to follow my inner whisper. I keep telling those kids the same thing. I need to follow mine. So my boss asked me, what is your inner whisper telling you? And at that time, I didn't know. So I said, I don't know what my heart is telling me right now. But one thing is sure, I shouldn't be here. I should be somewhere else.
Okay. Wait for that.
Yeah.
Escúchame, Manson. É lo qual ku nikita ta papikita uma experiência ku ami tami a experiência imita experiência. Na momento que você sente dentro que tem coisa que você haciendo que você não tem quase, it's time to fazer preciso lo qual que você sente que tem quase. Literally. Não te turbia, por explicar lo qual você sente. É lo qual me diz aqui, tu rende que tu base do programa aqui, aí é a experiência, of the experiência e lo vai experiência. Não te turcos que você sente, por explicar, pero você sabe lo qual você sente. That is exactly what you have to do. One of the big mistakes that we do oftentimes because we are como te dice? We are trained to do that.
Yeah, program.
Yeah, we are programmed to do that. We try to think about what we are feeling.
Yes.
But the problem is our mind is like our grandmother and our mama. They always overprotect us. You understand? When you feel that you have to do something, keep it there and just do it. Because if you go and process this in your mind, because whenever you hesitate, your mind will give you reason to hesitate.
Yes.
Am I correct or not?
Definitely.
Thank you.
I hear you. Yes, definitely. Yeah. So that was the scariest part because I didn't exactly know what to do. And at the same time, I knew I needed to go.
Yeah, like my bishop used to say in church, you know and you knower.
Yeah. And so what my boss is telling me, he's like, I'm going to give you a few months with payment so you can think about what you need.
Yeah.
And those are also the angels on your path that you don't expect to happen, because I worked for that boss for 10 years. I never expect him to
be so generous towards you.
Yes, be so generous because I'm following my heart. Because for him, it was still like woo-woo. But for me, it was so clear. So he saw in my eyes, I'm going to do this. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to do this.
I can imagine it's a he or a she.
It's a he.
I can imagine he's saying, this girl is crazy, but I'm going to do this. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. She is crazy.
Yep.
I love that, man.
In the dawn's gentle light, Where the whispers roam, there's a gathering of souls finding their home. Underneath the sky where dreams take flight, Coach Glenn's guiding hand, a beacon of light. Podcasts purring softly, on the airwaves they soar. Echoes of wisdom, they're yearning for more. Every Monday morning, hearts open wide, as seekers tune in to journey deep inside. Oh, it's the Great Awakening, with Coach Glenn's Awakening, a melody divine, guiding us through the realms of space and time, with interviews of spirit, on wings they rise, igniting the flame where the soul never dies. Oh, it's the Great Awakening, with Coach Glenn's Awakening, a melody divine, guiding us through the realms of space and time, with interviews of spirit, on wings they rise, igniting the flame where the soul never dies. Oh, it's the Great Awakening, with Coach Glenn's Awakening, a melody divine.
Et voilà la chose.
Mi que está contento, si muore chi non mi sa. Contento, riba mi sa.
Su questa, ripesa, balancesa. Attenzione. Musica musetta, musica ti voilà. En position, tout le comme ça. Comme ça. Musica musetta, musica ti voilà.
Mi che sta contento, si muore chi non mi sa. Contento, riba mi sa. Mi mamma smile, smile, che bonito smile. Smile, guarda bocuta, milés de vida. Tengo da rico, pero na nova cuida. Tengo os placa no por compra, saludi e não tá coiuna. Dochting, dá uma gulei, bate na curva de mani. Quer sa não tá contente, o rewega vai rolantinhedo. Nanga gasta nan tempo, felicidade por nada. Usando fe como alma, bendición en mi vida, pidi Dios a vida. Está contento, si muore chi non mi sa. Riba mi sa. Mi mamma smile, smile, che bonito smile. Smile, mi mamma, che bonito smile. Ahora me está contento, ahora me está contento. Ay, que sucede, yo me solté. Ay, que sucede, yo me solté.
On my way. You know I ainda, but I believe que o destino chão te cerca. E não tempura passou mi bendição lo llega. Gotta keep moving com fé e com segurança. Me tá on my way, me tá on my way. Oh, 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 oh. Me tá on my way, me tá on my way. caminho tamba tá largo. Na casa give up e perde esperança. Ancora pra me crescer de tua circunstância. The struggle ma descobri minha abundância. Me tá on my way, me tá on my way. Oh, 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 oh. Me tá on my way, me tá on my way. Oh, 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 oh. Me tá on my way. Sin duda, wil be cocky ave. Mi alma ta drive cocky ave. Fama no te con legacy te juega. Inspired the mission, a botar target. Essa aqui tá pensando com meta. Isso que tá hambra pra llegar. No valo de momento aqui. No valo de momento aqui. Logo logo si won't start on. No duro na costo by phone. Logo logo ci stand up fit. But on your way, on your way. Logo logo si won't start on. No duro na costo by phone. Logo logo ci stand up fit. But on your way, on your way. Me não chega ainda. But I believe que o destinação te cerca. Me não te embora, passo mi bendição não chega. Gotta keep moving com fé e com segurança. Me tá on my way, me tá on my way. Oh, 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 oh. Me tá on my. Oh, 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 oh. Sergio, take it over, come on, man. Porter, canta comigo. Oh, 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 oh. Me tá on my way, me tá on my way. Oh, 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 oh. Me tá on my way, me tá on my way. Oh, 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 oh. Umbia más, come on. Oh oh, oh 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 oh, mitad. Come on, un más. Oh 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 oh, oh 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 oh, mitad. Do ce soir. Oh 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 oh. Are you guys ready for a party? Are you guys ready for a party? Canta con me. Oh 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 oh. Oh, oh, me got on my